guys, happy Friday. I am so honored to be able to talk to you guys. And honestly, I am not the most organized person ever. If you talk to my husband, he would be like, people are having you talk about being organized, because every other area of my life, it's like complete chaos. Like when we travel, hey Angie, when we travel, he is in charge of everything, because my mind doesn't work that way. Like even before this call, I was like, oh shoot, I need to make sure I have my notes on the right computer, because I had them on my laptop. So I'm not very organized, but when it comes to this business, I'm organized. I guess you're organized with the things that you really want to see grow, right? So some of you guys might know I started out as a coach back in 2009. I was Janelle's assistant. We all love Janelle. Hey, Michelle. And so I started out as her assistant back in 2009, and she introduced me to coaching, and I had my degree in nutrition. I was going to school for my master's at the time. And she was like, Megan, you would be amazing at coaching. And I really did not want to do it. You know, I put Janelle on a pedestal. I put these other coaches who I saw being super duper successful on these pedestals. And I was this 22-year-old girl that still had a lot of weight to lose. And I had thyroid issues, which I saw as something that was not very attractive for people to have. And just all of these things that I had a reason against why I would be successful as a coach, but she got me on the discount. Okay, so maybe you guys are a discount coach, and that's okay. I was a discount coach for a couple years until I had that mindset shift. You know, I woke up one day and I was so extremely unhappy. I loved working for Janelle. I found myself like craving working for her more, you know, and being like, man, she has the most amazing life and these people really love her and she's changing their lives. And I had another job at the time and I was like, I hate this, you know, I hate this other job and I want this to be my job. It's, you know, sitting right in front of me. Why not just try? You know, why not just try and see what happens? Okay. And that's kind of the decision that you guys have to make. Okay. Because there is no perfect cookie cutter coach. Okay. If you look at all of the successful coaches, okay, not just the top 10, but coaches who have turned this into their full-time jobs, coaches who have retired their husbands, coaches who have paid off all of their debt, you know, whatever you think of success in this business, they come from all different walks of life, okay? There's not a specific type of coach that you need to be, but what you do need to do in order to be successful is be very strategic with how you plan your month. And it took me, you know, gosh, it's almost been 8 years of me being a coach in July. That's nuts. But it took me 8 years to really wrap my head around having a monthly plan. And I know that sounds so crazy, you guys. I'm usually a coach that just kind of flies by the seat of my pants. Like people would be like, so what is your social media calendar? And I'd be like, huh? Like, what does that mean? I don't know. I just post what I want to post, you know, or when are you running your challenge groups? And I always had kind of an idea of when I wanted to run my challenge groups, but it wasn't always so structured. But I felt so stressed out all the time. And then I had my daughter Tenley in 2015, November of 2015, and I realized that I didn't want to be that stressed out mom. Yes, I'd had a lot of success in the business so far, but like I said, I was flying by the seat of my pants. I was constantly on my phone. My poor husband, you know, he just put up with it. And I didn't want to be that kind of mom. So I had to start planning. Okay, I had to start planning so that I was able to get my work done and work smarter, not harder. Okay, smarter, not harder. And the success that I've seen since getting this plan into place, you guys, is so much more rewarding and so much less stressful than what I was doing before. Okay, so I hope that these tips can help you guys. Oh, and yeah, I can be present with Tenley a little more. Anyways, so my first tip for you guys is to, and you'll see me like kind of glance up, I'm making sure that I stay on track because I like to talk, okay? So the first thing is to keep things simple and focused on the vitals, okay? If you hear Melanie Mitro, which I think she's just a complete genius, but when you hear her talk about how she plans her month, it's very simple, okay? It's very simple, but she makes sure that she's focusing on the vitals every single day, every single month. And what do I mean by the vitals? I mean getting your own workout in, okay? That was the one thing that I really respect about Janelle. There's a million, but one of them was that she said, don't ever skip your workout to go work your business, because your workout is your business, okay? So get your workout in every single day, you guys. Stick to your nutrition and talk about it on social media. Drink your Shakeology, okay? Make sure you're getting your personal development in every single day. Every time I see a coach struggling mentally, it's because they are not getting their personal development in, okay? Inviting, okay, and we'll talk about that at the end. And then the last one is recognizing yourself, recognizing your challengers, and recognizing your coaches. And if you're like, I don't have any challengers and I don't have any coaches yet, so who do I recognize? Recognize yourself. Recognize your fellow coaches on your team. You know, do you see like other coaches on your team crushing their fitness journey? Share that. Give them a shout out. Pay that love forward and it'll come back tenfold, okay? You want to get those recognitions out there because that's how people identify you with the business, okay? If they see that people in your circle are changing their results, then of course they're going to want to work with you, okay? So, like I said, when I see coaches struggle in the month, it's because they are either not doing the vitals, okay, and really the one that I see that gets skipped is either the inviting one or the personal development. Let's be for real. Those are the two. Like working out and drinking your Shakeology, guys, it's easy, okay? If you skip inviting, if you skip personal development, things are just gonna fall, okay? So they either are overcomplicating it, they're skipping one of them, okay? Or they are so overwhelmed because you see everything that other coaches are doing that you're in a state of paralysis. Okay, yes, the launch of UK is amazing and so exciting, but also I see that it's paralyzing some people because you're like, I have a whole nother continent that I have to connect with and I need to start planning now, and if I don't start planning now, I'm going to fall behind. You guys, keep it simple, okay? Keep it simple. Just start building relationships. Janelle just did a training on that, so I'm not going to dive too much into it. But you've got to keep things simple, okay? If you're not getting those 4 vitals in every single day, yes, you're inviting every single day, then your business is not going to move forward. Now, I'm not saying you have to invite 20 people every single day. Okay, what I'm saying is that you need to invite 3 to 5 people every single day. Okay, and if you want to see your business grow faster, then you multiply that. Okay, number 2, every month should have at least these 3 items. Okay, the first one is a free group, the second one is a challenge group, okay, and the third one is a coaching event. I look back at, gosh, I don't know, the last like 6 years of my business, and I have done those every single month, okay? Even before anyone knew who I was, you guys, okay? I had been doing those for so many months before anyone was like, oh, who's Meg Wazinski? Okay, so don't worry like, oh, I'm not getting recognized for doing these things. It'll start getting picked up, okay? It'll start creating that consistency, okay? It's all the compound effect. If you haven't read the compound effect, highly suggest it. But so let's talk about free groups, okay? There's 2 different ways that I've seen work for me and work for my coaches. The first is obviously a free group, and don't do just a clean eating group, you guys. Do like something different, okay? Crackpot groups are a thing of the past as well, okay? Think outside the box. What are you struggling with, okay? The water ones are kind of a thing of the past as well, but I see people do well with that. Sean Week is coming up. They could do the 14-day trial for Bob. That's a free group right there, you guys. You could do like an abs and booty challenge. Go on Pinterest and look. You could do a summer recipe swap challenge. Do something different, okay? Do something outside the box. So that would be a free group that you just do on your in a group, okay? The other way that I've done, and I've seen some of my coaches duplicate that has worked well, is a free group on your actual page. So if you went to my like page, Meg Wazinski, and you clicked on my photos a couple weeks ago, I changed it from 5 days to 3 days, but you'll see that I have a post that says day 1, and I believe it says day 1 nutrition for thyroid. I believe that's what it looks like, okay? And the next one was exercise. And the last one was, I think, grouping it all together. I can't remember specifically, okay? But those 3 days, it was a free group on my actual like page. And what that did is it created momentum on my page. Okay, so affinity, because people are commenting below, and I would pick a winner who commented below that post, okay? But it's creating value on my page, okay? And it's the same thing that I would do in a actual free group, but it's on my social media. Okay, so it's another way to look at free groups, okay? And so you're reaching a ton more people, okay? And obviously you're going to reach out and connect with the people who like and comment on the stuff. So that's your free group. And I'll talk about how to advertise for them in a second, okay? The second one we talked about was challenge groups, okay? I like to run my challenge groups, and I just started doing this at the beginning of January, and I love it, okay? But I started running my challenge groups the second Monday of every month. Why? Because, and we'll talk about this in a second, but it gives me a chance to hit Success Club earlier in the month, okay? If you just like, if that just went, psh, what is she talking about? I'll break it down, don't worry, okay? And the last one, coaching event, okay? Coaching event, you can have it a webinar, you can have it a call, you can have it be a Zoom, you can have it be an event, you can like a 1-day event, a 3-day event, a 5-day event, you can do it in a group, 1 day, 1 hour. You know, you guys, there's so many different ways to do a coaching event, but you need to do something different every single month, okay? And I know from personal experience, trying what Janelle works, I try it and it flops, okay? Or I try it and it works amazing. What works for another coach may work for you or it may not. You've got to take it and kind of tweak it. There's times where I run events and it is crickets. No one comments, no one likes. It's like, well, that didn't work so well, okay? And then I go back and I try something different and I tweak it and I say, were the posts too long? Was the event too long? Should I make it longer? Should I make it shorter? Should I make it a different time of day? You know, you've always got to try different stuff. Okay, and even if people are not commenting and liking on that, you guys, it doesn't mean that they're not seeing it and they're not reading it. They might be scared to comment. Okay, so don't feel like you're failing. Okay, so let's talk about advertising for those 3. Okay, so let's first talk about a free group. I suggest starting your free group on the second Monday of the month. Okay, so let me get my calendar out so this just makes sense to people, okay? And I don't have it on my page right now. It'll start going up on the second Monday of the month, so June 12th. So my free group that I'm going to advertise on my like page and actually run on my like page as opposed to actual group, okay? Does that make sense, you guys? I hope that's not going over your head. But, because sometimes I like talk and it makes sense in my head, but maybe it's not making sense. So make sure that you let me know that makes sense. But it would start on June 12th, and I'd run it for 3 days, okay? So it'll be June 12th, 13th, 14th, okay? That's going to be my free group, okay? Now I would start advertising for the fact that I'm running this free group a week before, okay? So I would start talking about the fact that a free group is going to be coming up on my like page for people a week before, okay? So it would have been on June 6th or June 5th, right? And a last kind of call, and you'll see this probably on Saturday or Sunday, go up on my like page. It's going to say, hey, just a heads up, I don't know if you saw, and I'll probably do it as a video, but I'm going to be having a free group on here, and you guys can win stuff and learn information about nutrition and fitness with your thyroid, because that's my niche. What's your niche? Okay, connect that free group to your niche. Okay, so you want to advertise for a free group the week before. And this is where it gets a little complicated. Challenge groups. Okay, so when do we start advertising for challenge groups? I say 3 weeks before your challenge group starts. Okay, so my challenge groups start June 12th. Okay, and if you're looking at a calendar, this will make a lot more sense. Okay, so June 12th, so I would have started advertising for my June 12th challenge group, and if you go to my like page, you'll see this. I started advertising for it around the week of May 15th. Okay, so I have like 3 to 4 weeks. That's a lot longer. May 22nd, there we go, May 22nd, I started advertising for it, okay? And this is where it overlaps. My challenge group starts June 12th as well. So my free group and my challenge group run on the same days. What? Why would I do that, right? Why would I do that? Because anyone who says no to me about my challenge group, I still want to continue to build that relationship and give them value and hopefully have a chance to work with them in the next couple months. So if they say no to my challenge group, then I'm going to say, you know what? No worries. I don't fight objectives, you guys, because I'm the kind of person that if like I say I can't afford something, unless it's time, okay? If they say they don't have time, like some objectives, I'll be like, come on. Like you said that you wanted this, I'll help you. But if it's money, I don't touch that, okay? It's just my thing. Maybe you fight objectives with money and it works awesome. Me, if I say I can't afford something and someone pushes me, I say, see ya. Okay, so I don't fight that. Okay, I say no worries. I would absolutely love to continue to give you help that to help you feel better. I have a free group coming up on my page on this day. Make sure that you keep your eyes peeled, and then when my post goes up to introduce what I'm going to be doing with this free group, I message them and say, hey, I don't know if you saw, so I track them in Teamsy. I don't know if you saw, but my free group is going to come up on this day. I can't wait to get you the information, and if you want to run it in a group, you can. Okay, so that's when you would send them the link to join your free group, okay? So anyone who says no to my challenge groups, they're getting that information for the free group. Some people still say, no, yeah, or, they ignore me or whatever. But at least they know that I'm not just in it for the money, right? I want to help them. I want to give them value. And some, they end up doing the free group with me. They end up joining the next challenge group, or they do a couple free groups with me and then join the challenge groups, or they just do all of my free groups. Okay, as long as I'm helping them, that's what matters. Okay, so free group and challenge group, both on June 12th. Okay, another reason why I have my challenge groups on the second Monday of the month. Okay, and I said this a little bit earlier, but I'm going to make it make a little more sense. The reason that I start on the second Monday of the month is because, let's face it, you guys, people drag their feet. They drag their feet if you do not create a deadline and if you do not create urgency. So for me, I say, okay, let me make sure that I create that urgency. I might start advertising May 22nd, but since it's not starting for another 3 or 4 weeks, most people are going to drag their feet. So if I do it at the end of the month, I'm creating that hustle at the end of the month that will carry into June. Okay, and June, they've got 12 days to get into my group. That urgency is pretty strong, right? Because they don't have time to drag their feet anymore. When I send a follow-up message and say, hey, I know you really want it in this group, I gotta let you know, we start in a couple days. So you want to make sure that you get signed up now so we can get you into the group, okay? So it has really worked. I'm at nothing crazy, SC6 right now. My plan is SC10 by Sunday, and then I try to just keep bumping up to 5 points every couple days from then, okay? And then by the end of the month, it's usually, SC30 or higher, and that's always my bare minimum is SC30. Never going for 80, 90, 100 that you see some coaches do. I don't think I could handle that, but I think, starting with 15 new people is fun and enough for me to handle, okay? So whatever goals you're at, you want to make sure that you're hitting Success Club earlier, okay? Does that make sense? And I'll get to the questions after. So the last one is your coaching event. I suggest running a coaching event 1 to 2 times per month. Okay, if you're wanting to add to your team faster, do it 2 times per month. Okay, if you're really wanting to up the ante and say, I want to be an elite team, I want my team to be hustling, I want to see results, I would do 3 to 4 a month. Okay, and team up with other coaches, okay? When I was, I think back to when I was pregnant with Tenley and bringing on 25 to 30 coaches a month, I was running an event every single week. And yes, it takes a lot of work, but it was worth it, okay? Because it forced me to talk to more people, okay? So, coaching event, if you're like, Meg, you're overwhelming me, 1 to 2 per month, okay? 1 to 2 per month, and make sure you mix them up, okay? For instance, last month, what we did is we had one scheduled, okay, and it was a 1-hour event, and the 1-hour event went really well, but what I noticed was a lot of people were not quite at that point where they were ready to sign up as a coach. They were kind of like, this was so great, I'll think about it, and it was kind of team-wide that it was at that point. So I, last minute, said, okay guys, let's turn it into a 3-day event where the people who want more information can just hop into a 3-day event after this hour. Okay, so it kind of paired into each other. And you can do that, okay? But mix it up, have an hour event here, a couple days there. Just try different things, you guys, because you never know what's going to work for someone. And people need to hear information a couple different times, a couple different ways before they commit. Okay, so those are the 3 things that you need to have. Now, for coaching event, I would suggest starting to advertise for it a week before it happens. If you're running it through an event, have that event set up a week before, okay, so that you're able to start adding people in and have those conversations. Your coaches are able to get people in. You can just kind of get your head wrapped around it, okay? Okay, so let's see. Daily posts, okay? So someone was asking something about a daily, like my daily schedule and my daily posts. So I'm going to break it up into kind of a day in the life of me, and then also my daily posts. So if you're a newer coach, I would not suggest posting more than 5 times a day. Okay, don't overwhelm yourself. Tell yourself, okay, and even if you're not a newer coach, if you're someone who's just getting your footing down or whatever, okay, shoot for 3 times a day. Okay, 3 times a day, morning, afternoon, night. Okay, and you're going to have to play around with the times. So for me, I know usually around 9 or 10 a.m., I can get a good response. And then around 12-ish, you'll see another post go up, and that can be a good response. And then nighttime. Anytime I do any kind of post at night, I wait till after 8 or 9 p.m. Okay, because my following are mostly parents of young children, and their kids go to bed, and then they're like, let me scroll on Facebook. Okay, so figure out your niche and kind of schedule your type of posts around your niche's schedule. Does that make sense? So value. Okay, so you want to make sure you guys hear everyone talk about this. Okay, and I know Janella's done so many trainings on, giving value in your posts. Now, I used to get super overwhelmed over this. I'd be like, I don't have any value to give. I don't know what to tell, and I have these people on my team who are like the most inspirational, amazing, well-educated people that are like, I have no value to give. I have a dietitian on my team who's freaking awesome and is always like, I don't know what to post. And it's like, yes, you do, because you're amazing, and you guys all have something, okay? You don't have to have a degree in anything to have value to give people, okay? So what I tell my coaches to do is shoot for 80% of value, okay? So that gives you some wiggle room. It gives you some wiggle room to just put some silly posts up, okay? So you'll notice on my page, I'm strategic about it, but I will ask a lot of questions, okay? And my focus is thyroid. And now that we're starting to try for baby number 2, I'm starting to talk about, also baby stuff, okay? So, or pregnancy stuff. So I ask people questions, and that's getting engagement, okay? So that's not really value to ask, like, hey, when were you diagnosed with your thyroid issue? But it's getting engagement on my page. And also, it's giving me a chance to have people who I can connect with, okay? So I'll put those posts up, maybe I'll shoot for one type of post like that every single day, okay? Every single day. So even if you went to my like page, you'd be like, she asks a lot of questions. It's strategic. I'm doing that because I know that it will give me people to connect with and affinity, okay? And affinity is basically Facebook seeing a post of yours and saying, wow, that did really well, so your next one is going to do well. And it bumps it into more people's news feeds, okay? Let's see. Let me make sure that I did this. Oh, okay. So the other thing is, if you haven't done Jesse Reagan's Facebook training, something that he talks about that made complete sense to me is that people are always asking themselves, what's in it for me? Okay, what's in it for me? So when they come to your page, you got like 10 seconds, you guys, because they're gonna scroll through fast, okay? And they're gonna ask themselves, what's in it for me? So think about the kind of person that you're wanting to attract, okay? You have 10 to 15 seconds to catch that person's attention, okay? So if you're having 80% of your posts value, then if they scroll through 10 to 15 seconds, they're gonna see some of that value, and they're gonna say, oh, Angie does a lot of recipes. I suck at recipes, okay? Or Michelle does a lot of meal prep. I hate meal prep. Or, whatever it is that you guys are trying to bring onto your page, okay? 10 to 15 seconds, they've got to see that, okay? Now that 20% has wiggle room, okay, where you can post silly stuff. Okay, that's when I usually post pictures of like Tenley, right? Because those are going to get a lot of likes and comments. Okay, and I'm like, look at how cute my baby is, or it's a picture of Kaylee, my dog, or whatever. Okay, so just remember that, you guys. What's in it for me? And something that I do is I go back every day. I spend 10 minutes. And I have it on my to-do list every single day, and I say, okay, I'm going to go back through my posts from the last day. And I'm going to look and I'm going to say, were these posts self-serving or were they helpful? Okay, so it's kind of a way to just do a gut check with yourself. And you've got to be objective. If you're still kind of like, ask someone else to do it that you trust. Okay, I'll have my husband go on and help me. I'll be like, was I being self-serving? And what I mean by self-serving is just putting posts up that make you feel good instead of really giving people value. Okay, and he'll be honest. He'll be like, yeah, you need to put a little more value on your page, okay? And it's like, okay, I need to change stuff up. And that's okay, you guys. It's okay to have a couple days where you look back and you're like, I didn't do very much value at all. Okay, so I'm going to start the value now, okay? Okay, so number 5, a day in the life of me, okay? And now that Tenley's naps are changing, sometimes this is how my day legit goes, and other days, no. I had a whole plan this morning, and then Kirk got a flat tire with my car. So I had to be, and he usually watches Tenley on Fridays, so I had to rearrange my schedule. But anyways, this is what it usually looks like, okay? So the first thing that I do, no matter what, okay, is some kind of silence time when I first wake up. And I get it if you're a parent. I get it. I have a child who 6:30 a.m. she is up and she is screaming, okay? So I try to make it so that I get up before that and I spend 5 to 6 minutes, whether it's just silence, whether it's praying, whether it's using the Stop, Think, Breathe app, but just kind of getting my head wrapped around who I want to attract that day, what I want to be able to do, and the value that I want to bring for my followers. And if you think that sounds hokey, you guys, this was a huge area that I was missing in my business because I was like, I don't need to do that. And then when I started doing it, I was like, this is magic. This is awesome, because it really does get you grounded and focused on who you want to connect with, okay? So it's not hokey, okay? So the first thing is a little bit of prayer, meditation, that kind of thing. The next thing is personal development, okay? So I just started reading Get Over Your Damn Self, okay? And I believe she's a Ronan & Fields distributor. I love Ronan & Fields, but I just got their tanning stuff. I got to try it on, obviously. But anyways, you want to have some kind of personal development in the morning before you talk to anyone, okay? Because it's going to get your head right, okay? So if you notice, the first 2 things I do in my business have nothing to do with actually connecting with people, okay? Because if your head is not in the right space, and I've seen this with myself, I've seen it with my coaches, then you're not going to be connecting people in the right way, okay? Because they can sense it. They can sense that something's off, okay? So get your head right. The next thing, you guys, my first block of the business, okay? And yes, my business is decently large at this point, so you can take the times that I do and kind of crunch them down to fit your schedule, okay? Or your business. So the first hour is spent all on my business, okay? I don't touch my challenge groups. I don't touch my coaching groups. I don't touch any of that stuff, okay? I don't touch my emails. I focus all on invites, okay? And we'll talk about that in a second, but spend all on sending out invites, follow-ups, commenting back to people who had commented on my post, or messaging them, okay? So there's been trainings out there about this, but when people like or comment on your posts, just make sure that you send a message to them, as long as they're not a coach or working with a coach, and say, thank you for liking my post, okay? And I'm not going to give you the whole message, but just connect with them, okay? And build that relationship. It's a really, really nice way, an easy way to add to your network, okay? And so adding to my network is in that first block. and planning or scheduling out an invite post for that day. Now I shoot for 1 to 2 invite posts per week. Okay, and sometimes I do it on a Monday night, sometimes it's a Thursday night, sometimes it's a Sunday night. I try to play around with the days and the time depending on how my posts have been going for that day, and you can get that week. You can get a feel for how Facebook is playing. Okay, so you got to be smart. You got to say, okay, it looks like for instance, I look at some of my posts from earlier this week, and I'm like, this normally would have gotten a lot of likes and comments, and it's getting nothing. So I'm probably going to hold off on an invite post until later in the week when Facebook kind of figures out that, like whatever it's going through, it's making changes, anything. So just be smart about it, okay? And if you put an invite post up and it flops, you guys, it's not the end of the world, okay? I've had that several times, actually earlier this week, okay? So it's not a big deal. But I figure out when I'm going to put my invite post up, okay? Second block. The second block is focused on my team. Okay, so I connect with the people. I shoot for 5 coaches to connect with every single day. Okay, so whether it be someone who I'm helping push to Diamond or push for Emerald or push for Success Club or push for Team Builder or Team Leader or whatever it is you're helping your team focus on for that month, I have a whiteboard and I have who my key players are. Okay, so I have new coaches who I want to connect with in between, like my in-between leaders, and then my leaders, okay? And I just have a running list of the people who I want to connect with that week, okay? And sometimes those people roll over to the next week, and sometimes I'm like, oh, they're good. They don't need to hear from me for a little bit, okay? And I erase their name, okay? Or, oh, they're going through a really tough time right now. I'm going to follow up with them in a couple weeks, okay, because life is kind of smacking them in the face, but they don't need me, breathing down their neck right now, okay? So you just kind of play around with it, but I shoot to talk to 5 coaches per day just to kind of connect on a deeper level. If you listen to the National Wake Up Call with Erin Young, love her, but the way that she messages people is exactly how I message people, okay? She talks about the 3 different groups of people, so your coaches, your challengers, and then your prospects, okay? And so I do the same exact thing she does, okay? So that's that second block, is just connecting with people, checking into my challenge groups, checking into my coach training groups, and making sure that no one has any questions in there, and then I'm done, okay? Then later on in the day, I go and I look and I say, okay, what trainings have I missed? Because I'll be for real, there's Team Hardcore trainings that I'm not able to get on live, okay? I rarely actually am able to get on live, and then it just keeps getting bumped back in my schedule, right? I'm like, oh, I'll sit down and do it now. Oh, but now there's that training, and then there's that training, and then I missed the National Wake Up Call. It's like all these things kind of start piling up. What I would suggest is a couple times per week, and this is what I do. I set aside an hour or 2, okay, an hour or 2 to be able to sit down and watch one of those trainings, okay? And I know it's really hard for me to sit down and be like, you need to watch a training, because I'm the most ADD person ever. So sometimes I break those up. If they run longer than 30 minutes, and I think I'm going to be longer than 30 minutes, I'm sorry guys, I'll hurry up. But if it goes over 30 minutes, I'm like, that's going to be 2 days before I get through that. I'm just being real, okay? But set aside time 1 to 2 times per week to get through trainings. And that would be my third block. And then the last block, okay, is to just look back and see if there's anything that I missed, okay? And I don't think I said my emails. That's in my second block when I'm connecting with my team, is my emails and my messages, okay? Okay, so last thing, inviting, okay? Guys, I get it. It's uncomfortable, especially if you look at how people invite, okay? And I used to do this wrong too, okay? And I'd be like, oh, I hate inviting, right? It's like so uncomfortable. That's because you're looking at it the wrong way, okay? And there's a training that I will share with Angie that Rosa Friesen, she's a current top 10 coach from Canada, she put out there that talks about the changes with social media. And I want you guys to think about your friends, okay? Your friends on your social media right now. I'm guessing, because I know I have a lot of coaches, but I also have like people from like Ronan and Fields and Unique and Thrive and wine cellars and all this different stuff, right? And I see their posts and I want to bulge my eyes out, right? Because I'm like, oh my gosh, how do you get people with that? Or you get the message, right? You get a cold invite message from someone who has nothing to do with you. They have no idea who you are, but it's like the most generic, uncomfortable message ever. And you're like, like, really, does this work? Guys, that's when you're inviting wrong. That's when you're inviting wrong, okay? I look at some coaches on my team or other teams who are struggling, who are like, I send all these invites, but no one responds back to me. That's because you're doing it the wrong way, and that's okay. That's okay if you've done it that way and you're thinking, I don't want Meg to see me. I've done it, you guys. I've done it, and it leaves me feeling icky and right? You're like, you walk away thinking like, oh my God, I can't believe I just did that. That's a sign, you guys, that it's a sign to not do that, okay? And maybe we have to learn it to know to not do it that way, okay? Now, how do we go around doing it the right way? It's going to take you a little longer, you guys. I hear baby T screaming. I'm going to turn this off. I might have woke her up. She's not been napping very long. It's been like 30 minutes. Anyways, we're going through a weird period. So how do we do it the right way, okay? Building relationships, you guys. Building relationships, giving value. When people comment and like on your posts that you are sharing you're sharing your struggles, you're sharing your accomplishments, you're sharing that kind of stuff, love on them, comment, build that relationship through a message, okay? And get to know that person and then invite them, okay? Don't just, let me tack off these people, invite. No, maybe you're only doing three to five per day, okay? But you're doing them the right way. So you can walk away from that invite and say, that felt really good. That felt really good, and I'm actually really excited to be able to connect with this person and help them on X, Y, Z, okay? That's why value posts are so important, okay? And you all have value to give. So no more cold invites, you guys. No more, hey girl messages. No, okay? Because I've been on the other side of those messages, and they don't feel good. Okay, so promise me, promise yourself that you're not going to do that anymore. Okay, you're going to go out there and you're going to give people value and connect on a deeper level, because that's the cool thing about coaching. Okay, the cool thing about coaching is that we have something really special to give people. I look at these other companies and I respect a lot of the other MLMs and the products that they have. Like I said, I'm going to go try the Sunless Tanner from Ronan and Fields. But the thing that I noticed when I bought from one of my friends was that she said, let me know when you get the product and if you have any questions. And I thought, okay, so that's what they have to give. But as a coach, I have a chance to actually, once they purchase and they get their challenge pack and they get their Shakeology, I get to connect with them and be on a deeper level, okay? I get to have them in a challenge group with me. And maybe they won't check into the challenge group. I have people that do that, or they fizzle out within a couple weeks. But you know what? I'm their coach. I'm their coach, and I get to continue to reach out to that person until they're ready, okay? Until they're ready for their journey. They are welcome into my groups, okay? And I have people who they don't do the first month or two, and then all of a sudden they come back and say, you know what? I'm ready. And I have some that quit, okay? Some that return their challenge packs, and you're like, no, -2. Or they go and join another coach, and you just got to bless and release, you guys. But we have a really cool opportunity to be able to be working with people for life, okay? And maybe they stay on to be like forever challengers, okay? I have some people who are like, I don't want to be a coach, but I really do love Shakeology and I will be a lifer for you. And I'm like, cool, okay, we'll work together. Or others that just become coaches and then they become your best friend. I look back at, my list of my new coaches from the beginning of this year, and I'm not doing anything crazy, you guys. 5 to 6 coaches a month is usually my goal. But they're all my challengers, okay? And if I wouldn't have invited them to the challenge group opportunity, then they wouldn't be where they are now with their health, okay? And now the ones that are starting to become coaches and they're starting to get their first sale, okay? And they're starting to help people, and it's just that ripple effect. I'm like, this is it, you guys. That's what you would be robbing people of if you're not inviting them. Okay, so if you feel like invite is like an icky word, come up with a different way to talk about it. Okay, I hate the word recruit. I freaking hate the word recruit. I'm not doing that. I like the word invite, okay? Because I want to invite people to be on this journey with me, okay? And if you are not inviting people to do this with you the right way, okay, you are robbing them the opportunity to be able to change their life, okay? Think about what Beachbody has done for you. Even if you've had no success in the business, okay, maybe Shakeology has really helped you get off your caffeine addiction, okay? Or maybe you did the ultimate reset and you got out of your plateau and completely reset your body, okay? Or maybe you've made these friendships that you wouldn't have known if you weren't a coach, okay? Or if you wouldn't have started with Beachbody. Think about those things that Beachbody has changed your life for, okay? You have a chance to do that for other people, okay? So stop thinking of it as an icky thing and think about it as the fact that you have a present to give to other people, okay? The last thing on this is two things that have helped me, okay? The first one was reading the book Eat That Frog by Brian Tracy. He's amazing, okay? And it talks about the one thing in the day that you don't like doing. For me, I love inviting now, okay? But I hate follow-ups. Okay, I hate follow-ups. I've always hated follow-ups, okay? So what I do is I make my follow-ups the first thing I do, even before I go out and I send invites, okay? It's because I like the invites now. So it's like, oh, follow-ups, I gotta follow up? Okay, I'm gonna follow up. And I used to call it Follow-Up Friday. Now I shoot to do some kind of follow-ups every single day. Okay, so I'm always changing, you guys. You gotta keep changing your business and find what works. The other thing on that is the 5-second rule. If you haven't heard that book, I know that it's like long. She's very long-winded. But if you can get through the first couple chapters, there's some good golden nuggets in there. Okay, the 5-second rule, I listened to it on Audible. And I would just shower and listen to it in the shower, okay? So let me make sure that I didn't miss any questions. Let's see. Wendy, I still get paralyzed, okay? There's moments, I'm a very anxious person, okay? And there's moments where I get so much in my head that I'm like, oh, I have to do this, I have to do this, I have to do this. And then I get so stressed out, and then I take it out on my family that I've learned, okay, all I have to do is make a list and just start crossing things off. And I actually go through my list after I kind of have a brain dump. And I try to do this Monday morning, okay? But I'll do a huge brain dump and I'll say, okay, what really needs to get done? Okay, and I circle those things and I make sure the 4 vital behaviors are in those things, and then it doesn't feel as bad, okay? And then I just start moving through it, okay? And if there's things that you don't get done, you move them on to your next list, okay? Using your like page to share your free group, yes. So if you actually, Angie, I'll send you the pictures or the links, I guess, to those posts so you guys can see how I did it. And then, yes, challenge group and free group on the same day. Let's see, the weekly coaching event. So you were talking to a ton of new people like all the time, so you could invite new people to each week's. Yes. So Michelle, when I had this crazy idea that I wanted to go 15-star before Tenley was born, which we ended up doing, I was talking to a lot of people, a lot of people. And I still talk to a lot of people, but they're different kind of conversations. So if you guys are wanting your business to grow, you've got to start somewhere, right? So what I would suggest doing, and I tell my coaches this who are like in that point where you're like, I don't have anyone to talk to, spend like 4 or 5 days to just build relationships with new people. Go out there and add to your network like crazy. No hey girl messages, okay? But just go out and connect with people and build relationships, okay, on whatever topic. You can do it on Instagram, you can do it on Facebook, but that's where it's got to start. So we didn't just go straight into coaching invites. I started with a relationship. So I was talking to a lot of people, like 200 people added to my network every single week. Okay. Let's see. Okay, I think we're good, guys. Thank you so much for having me. I believe I said I was going to share the Rosa Friesen training and then also the links to my posts for my free group on my page. But Angie, thank you so much. I hope that you guys got something out of this. And Angie, I just saw your question, so I'll answer it in a second. But I hope you got something out of this. And if you did, just comment below this video because I like to know when I'm giving people ahas, okay? And then, do you send cold invites for free groups? Not usually. I just don't like cold invites, you guys. I don't, like if you have a message, and here's the thing, my way is not end all be all, okay? There's things that Janelle does that is freaking awesome, and I'm like, I don't think that would work for me. And I try, and it doesn't, okay? Or there's things that maybe I do that she's like, you know, or things that Lindsay Matway does, or whatever, you guys. You got to find what works for you. For me, I don't do cold invites. I like to have a little bit of a base in the relationship before we start a conversation. Now here's the thing though, if they comment or like on a post that's about my free group or about coaching or about a challenge group, then I go straight into the conversation. Okay, I don't beat around the rug for that. Okay, that's not a cold invite because they gave you that in. Okay, all right, I gotta go eat something. I'll talk to you guys later.